You don't even care. Those were the last words that I heard from the sidelines from my coach as a collegiate soccer player. The next thing I remember from that day was turning in my jersey to the athletic department. Until that day, soccer had been my life, my passion, my family, my friends, my everything. It was the first time that I didn't feel connected to my coach, and I didn't feel connected to my team. I didn't have the tools to be able to share how I was feeling and being overwhelmed by the demands of athletics and school, how I was feeling a little bit sad and just losing my drive and my passion for my sport. I felt like I only had two choices, to stay or to go. And I quit. I quit my sport. I'm an athlete. I don't quit, but I quit. My name is Sarah Kivel, and I am the founder of eiFocus. I'm also the author of Sweat, Success with Empathy and Trust, which is an emotional intelligence playbook for coaches of female athletes. I am a podcast host of The Focused Athlete. I'm a mom of 3 grown children, including 2 female athletes. And I'm an executive coach where I work with leaders and organizations around the world, building leadership from the inside out. Many of you know the benefits of sport. We all play, we love it, it's fun, we connect with the people around us. It makes us feel good, it makes us healthy. And there are so many benefits for girls. Girls who play sports are less likely to show signs of depression. Girls who play sports have higher GPAs and higher body image. And did you know that 94% of female executives played sport? And this is such a big deal because the more women who find themselves and get to those leadership roles, the more women in those roles, the closer we get to gender equality. The bummer is that girls drop out of sport at a rate that's 2 to 3 times that of boys. So how do we keep them playing? And that's where eiFocus comes in. We train girls and coaches of female athletes how to tune into their own bodies, to discover and understand what it is they're feeling, and understand how these emotions affect not only their well-being, but their relationships and their performance. Just the other week, I got a text from another mother. She sent me an article. She said, "Sarah, this article made me think of you and the work you're doing at eiFocus." It was the article about 3 recent athlete suicides. And she said, "Your work can make a difference to prevent this." Yes. We bring our trainings out into the world through the book that I mentioned, through in-person trainings on the field, on the ground, with the athletes and the coaches. We have online learning, we do webinars, and with the support of Title IX, we have this grand idea that well, it's not just an idea, it's happening. We are launching our first all coaches in-person training down at the Chula Vista Athlete Training Center in San Diego. And we want to offer scholarships for 40% of our participants. We're really excited about this because, why Chula Vista? Well, our focus is here in the Bay Area. We do our trainings and most of our work is here. One of our huge aspirations is to become one of the most recognized coach training programs for the International Olympic Committee. This facility is a place where athletes from all over our country come to train. It's motivating, it's inspiring, it is such a cool place to experience. These coaches are going to be with us for 2 days. They will get one-on-one coaching by certified emotional intelligence coaches afterwards. They're going to come away from this experience tuning into themselves, being able to identify how it is they're feeling. They're going to connect with each other, and they're going to learn to lead by example. They're going to model leadership for their athletes. They're also going to be sweat certified, and that means they're going to get a badge that they can bring home and let everybody in their organization, all their athletes, all their parents know that they value this type of training. With the support of Title IX, we plan to then reinvest what we earn from this first training into future trainings. And so within 3 years, we hope to have over 80 coaches trained and 3,600 athletes touched. And within 5 years, we hope to have 1,500 and 3,400.
Okay.
All good.
Resilience.
Yes, one of those key elements of emotional intelligence. You don't even care. Those words couldn't have been further from the truth. Had I had these skills and had I been trained in emotional intelligence, maybe I wouldn't have quit my sport. Title IX legislation enabled me and many other athletes to be able to play sports. Together, let's keep girls playing so that they can thrive in sport and in life.
Really nice job.
Thank
It's always
you, guys.
hard to go first.
Yeah, it's a little
you
hard.
set the bar high. Yeah,
Thank
you did
you.
really great. And with a little jump
just-
scare
but
in the
it's
middle
good.
of that.
It's all part of the practice, right?
Awesome. I was just wondering if you could just tell us a little bit more on how you build your training and curriculum programs. Like, what is it based off of?
It's based on research done in emotional intelligence, founded by Daniel Goleman's work 20 years ago on the elements of emotional intelligence. So we start off working on the inner self-awareness, understanding yourself, because it's only then that you can begin to understand others. So it's all evidence-based, research-based. I am a certified emotional intelligence coach, and it's my passion, and I 100% believe it. I feel like it's the foundation for thriving.
Hello? Okay. Because of the jump scare, I missed the numbers. Can you run through those numbers one more time? And then I have another question too. But
Yes. So with the program in particular that we're talking about, this training program, within 3 years, we would have 80 coaches, which equals 3,600 athletes touched. In 5 years, 120 coaches going through the program and 5,400 athletes touched.
1,400 coaches by 3 years.
And in total, everything, not including this program, so including our trainings, our learnings, and everything, 1,400 coaches, 65,000 athletes, and in 5 years, 3,600 coaches, 167,000 athletes touched. Pick those numbers out.
awesome. So I want to question your stats because I think that's always an important question.
Yeah, please.
So when we say that 94% of female executives played sport, what does that mean? Like when you say played sport, can you give me a understanding? Is that like at any age? Is that through a certain point? Like what are we saying with that?
That's a great question. And this research was done by Ernst & Young. And when they looked at organizations across the board, so they found out that 94%, and this is what I understand, 94% of those played sports, and over half of them played at the collegiate level. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Thanks. Can you talk a little bit about just your efforts in gaining traction outside of the event? What are you doing to attract coaches and athletes to your services?
Yeah, that's great. We have, well, right now we're working with UC Davis Women's Soccer, which is super exciting. We have a fantastic team of social media. We're all volunteers, and we have 2 members who focus just on social media, getting our word out there. We have a website. We do a lot of awareness. Our Always an Athlete program, the podcast. What else? I'm out there doing talks, and we do webinars now and then. So it's really just organic, and it's our connections. It's making connections, and yeah, hope I answered that.
Through your webinars, how many states are represented, or are you really focused on certain communities?
Through the webinars, we actually can draw a global audience. We've worked, and I didn't mention that, we worked on 3 continents, and to date touched over 250 coaches and 11,000 athletes. And our webinars draw a global audience. We do focus in on our area though when we're doing in-persons, but with the webinars, we're able to draw a larger community. And within all of our team eiFocus network, we have a global network.
Yeah, just to follow up on the global nature, do you feel like your programs are truly global, or do you have to customize just based on, where people are and just cultural norms that may differ?
Yeah. I'd say we're really focused here. Like, our focus is Northern California, Bay Area. And when we go out globally, we're kind of, it's not as customized because we're further away. It's more of the online trainings or the webinars that are kind of more structured, whereas here we're on the ground. We can be on the ground with coaches and the athletes. And of course, that's our favorite. Just having that impact, seeing the tears of joy coming down an athlete's face, it's just, yeah, it doesn't get better than that. Yeah.
Can you define what emotional intelligence is? Like, what are the big factors in that?
Yeah, great question. So the way we define it is the ability to recognize and identify your emotions, what's going on inside of you, and understand how these emotions affect your well-being, your relationships, your performance. And again, it starts with you. It starts with you as an individual. And then as a coach, you're leading, you're modeling. You are the role model. You are leading by example. And that's why we focus on coaches. They got to walk their talk.
Great. I was curious about just biggest obstacles to date as far as getting recognition or funding so far.
I'd say one of our biggest obstacles, has been, and Missy pointed this out yesterday when we were doing our game, about all these ideas. We got ideas here, ideas there. We had the Always an Athlete. We wanted to start a gratitude leadership program, which is so amazing. And we will, but just not yet. And so it's really been about focusing. That has been our biggest obstacle. And I think we're in a really good place. We are more focused than we've ever been since the start.
A hard last question, but what is your fundraising strategy in like 2 sentences?
That's tough, huh?
Being real and talking to our network and creating those relationships. That has been the success of fundraising, is the relationships. And I can say one of our recent donors found out we were coming here. We got a check just like that. So talking it up. All right. Okay, I'm all done. Woohoo! That was good. Thank you all for making this not scary and actually really fun. Thank you.